and the company won't need to go to New York to bring this capital to Latin America. This is the first product. The second product will be a fund passport.
I'll talk now to André Luiz Sacconato. He's head of research at BRAIN here in Brazil. First of all, I'd like you to explain, what is BRAIN?
BRAIN is an institute that have the objective of this institute is to create a hub, financial hub in Latin America.
Is it about a financial integration among 6 countries? How will it happen?
Yes, we are talking about Argentina, Brazil, Peru, Colombia, Chile, and Mexico. We want to create 2 projects. The first one in stock exchange markets, and the second one is fund passports.
And let's talk about the phases. I've heard that this project had some phases. Initially, how was it?
Yes, the first phase was academic phase. We contracted Guillermo Larraín, a teacher of University of Chile, and he studied all the regulation of these 6 countries. It's a kind of academic approach. We need to have a base to begin this project. The second phase, we hired PwC, and our objective is to bring this academic phase to a real world phase. And they interviewed companies in all these 6 countries, the biggest companies, and the question was, what's the problem that you find, you manage, when you need to bring more capital to the company? And this second phase brings us to now.
Will be the same rules, the same regulation from Europe and Asia. Did they inspire you to make the same here in Latin America?
Yes. They have studied these topics since 1980s. So the advances, the development that they can bring us, they can teach us, we will use in this project, because this will facilitate our life in the project. So we studied a lot the Asian passport and the European passport, and the basis of our project comes from these 2 passports, mainly in the case of the funds passport, because we have 2 products in this project in general. The first one related to stock exchange, and the second one related to fixed income. This related to fixed income is about the fund passport, and this we have now working in Europe, in Asia.
Which institutions are in this project? Stock exchanges, regulators, can you tell us?
Yes. I think the best way to put this clear is to explain the products. So the first one related to stock exchange will be a receipt like ADR, but we call LDR. It's a receipt that can float in all these 6 countries without barriers. So a Mexican, for example, a company in Mexico can launch an IPO and at the same time launch a receipt that can go to Brazil, to Argentina, to Chile, to Peru, and any of these other five countries. So the idea is the regulators of these countries will have agreement, and the company in Mexico will launch this IPO in the stock exchange. And at the same time, we'll send the prospect to the regulator. The Mexican regulator will split this prospect to the other countries. And at the same time, the company will launch receipts to other countries. So we will have at the same time the IPO in Mexico, either receipt, and Brazil, in Argentina, or any other country of this agreement. This is important because the Mexico company will access the savings of the five countries at the same time. And the company won't need to go to New York to bring this capital to Latin America. This is the first product. The second product will be a fund passport. For example, in the same example, a company will launch a fund in Mexico, and the company wants to distribute this fund in other countries, in these 6 countries that we are talking about. So it's possible to distribute in Chile, Brazil, for example, without have a structure in this country. It's possible to launch from Mexico to other countries without the necessity of to create a company in Brazil with capital, following the rules of Basileia, and with the costs of to hire more people, and etc. They will launch in Mexico, but can distribute in all of the 5 other countries. The objective in the 2 projects is to create a integration, and more than this, bring money outside Latin America to finance to infrastructure of this country, the companies that needs to invest money in Latin America, because the rules will be close of the rules of Europe and Asia. And these investors need to feel comfortable with the rules. So we have besides to have integration, we have more money to the companies to reduce the poverty, to reduce the infrastructure gap.
When will it start?
In terms of the academic part, we have all finished. We need to put this in a table and brings the regulators. We have contact of all regulators, and to define the structure of the memorandum of cooperation of these 4 countries. In terms of fund passports, the Pacific Alliance that is composed by Chile, Peru, Mexico, and Colombia, they have an agreement. We need to put Argentina and Brazil together to create a strong group of countries. In terms of stock exchange, we need to begin from zero, but we have the structure, we have the agreement done, and we need to put the regulators together to decide how we can do this in a simple way.
Do you think you have to create a chamber among the different regulators in the 6 countries?
Yes, it will be necessary because the Brazilian regulator will need to recognize a Chilean regulator as technically enough, the knowledge, technical knowledge enough to bring all the Chilean, the Argentinian, and vice versa, to discuss the regulation of these kind of products. So we need to put them in a table to discuss it and create a chamber of regulation. We've talked with all of them. During 2016 and 2017, we traveled a lot in Latin America to talk to not only to regulators but to central banks, to finance ministers.
Is it the project of your life, and is it the right moment?
Yes. The political moment is perfect because all of these 6 countries have the same vision of world, of economy, of economic policy. So we can say that now we have 6 countries in the same way, in the same path to get this objective. Probably we wouldn't get this 5 years ago because clearly Brazil and Argentina had a different vision of world that they have now.
André, Luiz, Sacconato, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you, Luciane.
Luciane Miranda to Dukascopy TV.